Welcome to the interview zone here in Tampere Disc Golf Center, also known as the Monster. Let's start off with a question about the weather delay. So you had to wait a while to continue play. So if you wouldn't mind telling us or the viewers your name first, and then letting us know a bit about the weather delay and how do you work with those kinds of situations? How do you set up? I think you had two holes to finish afterwards, so let us know how you work. So first your name and then how you work with these kinds of situations.
Yeah, so Thomas Gilbert, we had 2 holes left to play. We were about midway through hole 17. Different positions for all of us on the card, but we just kind of had to practice our positions, hopefully get our best result possible, practice our lies if we can, and then potentially practice hole 18 because that was our last hole left, and just try to do as best as possible.
Yeah, this is Chace. It was a rather long delay, more than expected, but honestly, not too bad position for us. We were pretty much right next to the parking lot and just had a couple putter shots left, so no need for like a full warm-up or anything to really throw some technical shot shapes. Just a couple putter shots, couple putts, and get on out of here.
Yeah, Semerád. Yeah, that weather delay was pretty long. We were almost able to finish the round before the delay, but for me, I just had a pretty easy jump putt on 17, and hole 18 should be like a routine shot and putt, and luckily I ended up with the perfect shots on those 2 holes, and yeah, it didn't really affect, I feel like.
Evan Scott, and with only like a hole and a half left, just kind of hang out for a while, take it easy, maybe go get some food, and then come back and finish your last few throws.
Perfect. Let's go through your rounds today, if you don't mind. So how did the Monster treat you? It can be a bit bitey, I know, from yesterday's interviews. So how did it go for you personally, and do you have any highlights you want to share with our audience today?
The Monster's always going to be a battle. You have to stay really clean off the tee, scrambled well down the fairways. I end up shooting even par today, so bunch of good shots, bunch of bad shots, but that's kind of what you're going to expect out here. Just try and minimize damage and, yeah, do as much as you can.
I believe I ended up at 1 over par, so not super ideal for this course and the position that we came into today. Definitely rewards smart golf out here. Got to make better decisions going forward. As far as highlights, though, I got bullseye birdies on 1 and 9, which are some of the hardest holes, so not too bad.
I think I finished 4 down, which I'm really happy with. This is really hard course. Last year I struggled with this course a lot, so that's a big improvement for me. I didn't do any big mistakes. I did some small mistakes, especially on putting green. Could have been even better round, but I'm really happy with that.
Yeah, it's a really tough course, so you just kind of got to pace yourself and stay as clean as you can. I had a pretty slow start, but finished off with a 3 down, which is pretty good. So.
Yeah, well done. Okay, so going on tomorrow, you're heading back to the Beast, I believe, right? So how do you compare these 2 courses? Is there any difference in your style of play, which suits you better?
I think it's a little bit different. It's a lot about landing zones over at the Beast. Here is about keeping in the fairway. So managing the OB at Nokia is really important, and trying to just get in good positions to birdie as many holes as you can. Here's a lot about just making sure you're staying in play on these holes. So I think the game style is a little different, but you definitely still want to stay in good positions throughout the course on both courses.
Yeah, the courses are definitely different stylistically, but we've had about a week to practice. I feel like everyone kind of knows what they're throwing on every hole. And at the end of the day, it's about execution and good decision making, and I feel like that plays at both courses. So, yeah, just gonna play better moving forward. That's the goal.
Yeah, very different courses. I think it's like the perfect combination for World Championship. This is really wooded course. The other one is more open with a lot of OBs and maybe some wind. And in past, I always did better on the Beast, but this year it's been the opposite. So I'm really looking forward to have a better score tomorrow at Beast.
Yeah, the Beast is a lot more of kind of a sprint to the finish line than here. It's a lot more kind of birdies, a lot more scoreable opportunities, whereas here you just need to sort of stay clean and consistent.
Perfect. One last question for today before I let you go. So we have a lot of new viewers or new to the disc golf, so beginner players, and we want to ask you if you have any hints for them how to improve on accuracy on shots, like anything that comes to mind that is typically something that goes wrong with the beginner players that they could help them be more accurate on the courses.
One tip I'd say for accuracy particularly is knowing your run up. Like I think your position towards where you're running to hit your target is really important. So making sure you're running up in the direction you want to throw is one of the tips that I see a lot of beginners kind of not quite giving enough thought to their shot.
Yeah, just to keep it short, disc golf is sometimes a lot about copy and paste, and if you can trust your form and trust build up something that you can trust. If you can just, rinse and repeat that over and over again, whether it's a tight gap or a big gap, just keeping it on the smallest intended line and aiming small, missing small. That's what I would say.
Yeah, it's definitely about practice, and I would also recommend to just try standstill and get as many reps with standstill.
I would say try to work on your reach back. At least in my opinion, if you're rounding on your reach back, it's going to make it a lot harder to stay accurate.
Perfect. Thank you so much for the interview and good luck with your next rounds. Thank you.